Most people think when it comes to detailing cars, the most important part is getting the paint perfect. You know, a swirl-free show car finish. But really, the most important part is the glass. For simple reasons, you've got to see through it. And today, we're going to talk about how to polish glass to remove scratches, scuffing, deep water spots to get it perfectly crystal clear. Mike Phillips with Autogeek.com, and I'm with David Patterson, the Technical Manager for New Product Development for Lake Country Manufacturing here in beautiful Oconomowoc, Wisconsin. And we're going to take a look at what Lake Country has for polishing glass.
So Lake Country has developed a new glass polishing system, which started off as glass polishing pads. Now we've incorporated a glass polish using cerium oxide abrasives to polish glass, and now we have a complete system. We offer this system in a full range from 2-inch all the way to 6-inch, and ideally it's best used on a rotary, but can perform on a DA polisher as well.
You know, a few years ago, that's one of the things I started playing with, was using a DA instead of a rotary, because I know a lot of people have a DA or an orbital polisher, but not everybody has a rotary. I started thinking, as long as all you really need is pad rotation and the glass polishing pads are thin, then the average orbital polisher is able to maintain that pad rotation. This means the average person with an orbital can remove scratches out of glass even if they don't own a rotary.
Yeah, exactly.
And the thing about glass scratches is it's pretty common. A lot of times as your wipers begin to wear, they'll start to scuff the glass, and the longer it goes on, the deeper those scuffs become, and they actually become scratches. And normal compounds and polishes that work on car paint, they don't have the right abrasive technology to actually abrade glass because it's so hard.
Yeah. So cerium oxide is obviously an abrasive that's specifically for extremely hard surfaces like glass or quartz or anything like that. And what we have done is combine it with a felt type polishing pad that it's actually a felt material with a rayon additive to help provide a heavy cutting surface for those glass surfaces and be able to restore it.
And I think isn't one of the ideas behind this very hard flat pad is it traps the abrasives between the pad and the glass so they can go to work instead of going into, say, like a microfiber pad or a foam pad, you know, seeping into the pad. You want them trapped.
Yeah, exactly. You definitely want them trapped. You don't want them to go anywhere else. Glass is extremely hard, so it takes a long time to polish, so you want to keep that abrasive in between.
Yeah, and we don't want to make this sound like it's really easy because glass polishing is fairly hard. You know, one of the things about glass polishing, where most of the scratches build up, is on the windshield. And the windshield is neither vertical or horizontal, it's at an angle. So when you go to start buffing on it, you're actually holding a polisher at an angle. And if you've never done this before, it's a little more taxing than, say, vertical panels or horizontal panels.
Yeah, definitely. It's something that I know that you've done in the past. We did it in your class, but supplementing with water also. It wants to dry out. And the other big thing is covering the entire vehicle. The abrasives get all over, and cerium oxide is a fairly aggressive abrasive, and it does not break down like other abrasives that we use on paint because we need to polish hard glass. So you really want to cover the rest of the vehicle, make sure you're not getting heavy, deep scratches from that abrasive on there, and you're going to want to use a spray bottle with water to keep lubricating because you can keep using those abrasives because they don't break down.
Yeah, and what I developed is what I called the buddy system.
Yep.
And I know it's kind of silly, but really when you're doing glass polishing, you want a buddy out there that's got a water bottle of clean water that they can continually mist to the surface to keep the abrasives wet as the other person, you know, you in this case, and I'll be the buddy, work that polish over the surface to slowly but surely work these defects out of the glass. And actually to me what's kind of amazing is how there's just some magic that takes place with this type of pad and that type of abrasive that you're able to abrade the surface and remove scratches without actually putting scratches in at the same time. How does that happen?
You know, it's bizarre and it's hard to explain, but the rayon additive to felt offers a polishing effect that kind of creates a little bit different a little bit different than your standard felt. Standard felt's been used on glass for a long time. In fact, the majority of the people are still using it in the marine industry because they polish water spots all the time. They get baked on, and that's how they use it. But the new rayon additive offers a little bit different polishing aspect to that for automotive glass. The cerium oxide works perfectly with that rayon felt blend, and honestly, I don't really have much explanation for it besides the finished result.
Yeah, and that is important though, because like I live on a coastal town, and what happens is a lot of times the beach sand, it ends up in the wind, it's deposited on the windshield, you get up in the morning, you got dew, you hit the wiper, boom, scratches. And you do that over time, and pretty soon you got wiper marks, and I see this real often on coastal cars. And outside of replacing the glass, now we have a solution, literally speaking, to fix that from Lake Country Manufacturing.
Absolutely.
So if you've got scratches in your glass, that's good news for you. Now with their pad technology, their abrasive technology, there's a way to remove it, whether you have a rotary buffer or an orbital. It's just a matter of investing the time, covering things up, and then having a buddy to help you out. Where can they get more information about this new system for polishing glass?
You can check out all the information along with pictures on our website, www.lakecountrymfg.com.
And this really helps me out because a lot of times I'm working on classy cars or muscle cars, and so much time has gone by. And again, so often the paint looks perfect on these cars, and then you look at the windshield and there's all these wiper marks. So now we have a way to make the glass look just as good as the paint.
Yeah, absolutely.